YouTube, Fin New Gym back with another video. Day in the life to get shredded. We got some intervals to start the day. But before we go and do our intervals, we're gonna grab a monster. Oh, there we are. We got the goods. We have gone with Ultra Strawberry Dreams today. This is actually my first monster in a few days. I know it's a running joke at this point, isn't it? I'm cutting down on my monster use, yet every time I film I seem to grab a monster. But with that, I do film closer to the weekends, either a Friday or a Saturday. And when it is the weekends, I do like to treat myself to a monster. But I haven't had any in the past few days, because mainly I've been ill. I've been a little bit under the weather, and I just have not had an appetite for anything, to be fair. Like, meals have been a struggle to get down. Like, honestly, I felt like I was back in my off season in 2023. It was absolutely fucking brutal. Just sitting there almost feeling like I'm having to force feed on 2,400 calories training day. That's pretty fucking worrying, right? Brought me back to my bodybuilding days, but I'm feeling a little bit better this morning, so I'm gonna slowly ease my way back into training today with the intervals this morning and then the full body upper later on. And with that, I may as well take you through the new food setup as well for the new calories and macros that we have got outlined. Banging, see you at the gym. So for today's intervals, we have what we call broken 800s. So we got a 2K warm up at zone 2, then 6 times 400 meter pace at 410 with 60-second rest in between each round. And then we have 6 times 400 meter pace at 350, 90 seconds rest in between with a 2K zone 2 cool down. Sounds fucking brutal. Let's get stuck in. Okay, there we are, broken 800s, ladies and gents, and safe to say I'm feeling pretty fucking broken after that. So we're gonna go home, grab meal 1 now, and then we will be back later for full body up. Right, so we are back from cardio, post-cardio meal, pre-gym meal. So let me take you through this now. We have 80 gram of oats with 30 gram of whey. Then we have 3 whole eggs with 200 gram of egg white. So like I mentioned, we will be off to the gym shortly after this. I will be taking you through the full upper session, but I'm going to eat this, sit down, chill for a little bit, maybe get a bit of work done depending on how much time I have. Kick my feet up first though and watch a little bit of WWE. SmackDown was last night, so we're going to catch up on that. I'm giving a little bit of a review at the minute, week to week, in terms of how the product's looking, and honestly, yeah, it's sad times to be a WWE fan. Fresh off the back of Clash in Paris, and that was a fucking awful pay-per-view. Ending as well with Becky Lynch going extra heel and essentially joining Rollins' faction. Just awful. Like, keep them separate. No one wants to see them together. I personally don't anyway. Maybe you know, the hardcore fans, the more hardcore WWE fans are loving the product right now. With me, yeah, sad times being a wrestling fan. It is fucking awful at the minute. But regardless, we're going to catch up on it. We're going to watch SmackDown now, and I suppose I'll give you a review. I'll take that back. They've stepped up their game a bit. That was a very good episode. Anyway, I'm going to get ready now, wrap up a little bit of work, and then I will be off to the gym. Right, so that was the full upper body session. Didn't get every single exercise in there, so I will post a session somewhere on the screen so you can take a look at that and maybe try it for yourself. Can't lie, that was it was a slow one getting back into it. That was That was the first one back in, what, 2-3 days now, after having come down with illness. So yeah, when you obviously have gone through an ill spell where you've taken a little bit of time off training, you ease your way back into training, right? I always preach 2 to 3 reps in reserve for at least the first few sessions prior to really picking things up again and firing from all cylinders. You've got to allow the oven to warm before you cook. That is the analogy I always like to use. But anyway, we're here with the post-workout meal now. Really not looking forward to this, I can't lie. My appetite has not come back since being ill. So yeah, I'm trying to think, did I have COVID? Maybe. Because I just still have no appetite. Like, my stomach just feels full constantly. Maybe someone spiked my monsters with Retta, I'm not sure. But post-workout, we have 200 gram of chicken here with 300 gram of potato, 300 gram of fat-free cottage cheese on top of some salad. So that's the post-workout meal. Really not looking forward to it, but I'm sure I'll be able to get it down. I'll just have to man the fuck up and get it down. Like I said, I genuinely feel like I'm back in the off season at the minute. This is not fun, certainly not reminiscing on the bodybuilding days. But anyway, that's that there. After that, I've got to head into town for a few bits, and then I will catch up with you later on. Fucking hell, that went down the wrong way. Anyway, so in terms of my evening, I did head into town earlier because I needed to pick up a few new fits from Zara, and then came into a Starbucks just to essentially get some creative time in and get some reel scripts written out, as I will be filming new Instagram reels in the next few days. One thing in which I've actually been doing recently, and I would recommend to a lot of content creators or online coaches, not to say that I'm an expert with any of this stuff, but obviously it is my job to create content, right? Well, I'm an online coach, my job is to coach, but as an online coach, you're online, right? So you almost need to be just as good at content as what you are coaching. But I think it is safe to say I'm a way better coach than I am content creator. But one thing in which I have been doing, and this is a tip I got off another content creator, is what I'll do now in order to really try and create content which is authentic to me and is content in which I want to create and that is coming from what I believe and what I want to put out there, is I will sit in a room for literally half an hour to an hour, just a room in complete silence. I'll put my phone into another room or I'll turn it off completely. I'll have no distractions around me whatsoever. So there'll be no music, there'll be no TV, there'll be no nothing. There will literally just be me, a notepad and pen, sat in a room, and for an hour I will literally just write down on the notepad whatever comes to my head, right? Whatever I currently see happening in the industry, or whatever problems I see my clients facing, or things in which I don't necessarily agree with in the industry, right? I literally just write down a list of them, and I do that for a straight half an hour to an hour, depending on how much time I have available. And I end up just filling pages worth of ideas for Instagram reels, right? Not even really Instagram reels, but sometimes YouTube videos as well. And honestly, I could not recommend it enough, because I feel like I very much got caught up in the trap of trying to look at what other online coaches were doing and trying to almost mirror that a little bit, right? Because I thought that that's what you needed to post as an online coach, when realistically, if anyone does sign up to your online coaching and wants to become a client, it's because they're invested into you, yet they're not really going to be invested into you and who you truly are if you're posting content in which a million other coaches are posting, right? So that's the goal for me from here on out. I wanted to post content that is more authentic to me, content that really does kind of show the individual in who I am, right? So that way I am attracting my ideal client and clients that are invested into me and want to work with me for who I am, right? And not only that, for the quality and standard of results in which I get and the high level coaching which I am. So yeah, that's what I've been doing recently. Obviously haven't done it in the Starbucks because there is music and other people chatting in here. But yesterday I sat in my room with no distractions whatsoever. Literally just sat myself down at my desk and scribbled down a load of ideas in which came to my head. And I've come into the Starbucks today and essentially just wrote out the scripts for each of them, and then I'll get 10 of them lined up for when I film within the next few days. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this evening. I think I'm going to call it a day there though. I'm going to head home now, chill out for the rest of my Saturday evening, and of course get in my last meal, which I will catch up with you then. Didn't think I was going to forget the last meal this time, did you? Absolutely not. So, in this dog bowl here, we have 200 gram of chicken, some broccoli, cauliflower, with 1 bag of microwave rice. And then part 2 to the last meal, we have 400 gram of fat-free skyr yogurt, 30 gram of whey protein with 300 gram of frozen raspberries. Honestly, this is the meal right here. Doesn't look like much, but trust me, this gets me through the day. But anyway, I'm still feeling a little bit worse for wear. So what I am going to do is chill for the rest of this evening, get my last meal in nice and early, get to bed nice and early, and then I think I may carry this video on to the following morning because I have been feeling written off today. Really probably should not have gone back to the gym as early as what I did. Probably should have taken another day of recovery, but yeah, I'm a pillock, so what can I say? With that though, I am getting round to completing the third out of, I was about to say third out of the 3 then, that doesn't make sense, does it? The last out of the trilogy of the Rush Hour films. Honestly, what a fucking trilogy that was. Like, just one of the best film trilogies I think I've ever seen. Chris Tucker, is it Chris Tucker? That's the one, isn't it? Yeah, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. I think we can make a strong argument that they are probably one of the best on-screen duos we've ever seen. Like, honestly, one of the best comedy duos in my opinion. So yeah, I'm halfway through the third right now. Gonna finish that, and then I'll be in bed nice and early, and then hopefully feel well enough for my easy 10 to 15k tomorrow morning. So I'll see you there. Bosh. That lighting is awful. It's awful lighting. Do I stick with it? Yeah, fuck it, I don't really care. Right, so I'm not sure what I have come down with, what I have been hit with, but I have zero appetite right now. The last 2 meals in which you saw yesterday, not just the 2 meals in which I had for my last meal, but also my post-workout meal, I ate virtually half of each, right? I ate half of the chicken, potato and cottage cheese salad. I ate half of my chicken, broccoli, cauliflower and rice, and I ate half of my skyr bowl as well. Not like me in the slightest. Since I've been ill now for the past, 2-3 days, I've dropped over 2 kg on the scales. I'm dropping weight like a sack of shit. Not like me whatsoever. I made the joke yesterday that I feel like someone has spiked my monsters with retirutide. Is that how you pronounce it? Retirutide? Retirutide? I think it is. Now, I haven't taken retirutide, but I can only imagine this is how it feels if you do take it. Not that I would. I don't think I ever would, unless they do more studies into it, and then could be an absolute game changer when it comes to staying absolutely shredded year round. But I feel like this is what it would be like, right? Struggling to finish your meals, having an appetite like Jack's Fit. It's not good. It's not good. I feel much better today. But I still just don't want to eat. I don't want to eat. So yeah, maybe I've come down with some form of COVID and my appetite just has completely vanished and hasn't quite bounced back yet. Because there have been a few times where I felt pretty written off since COVID and had absolutely no appetite, which is not me whatsoever. And it'll get to the point where I'll just take a few mouthfuls of my food and I'm like, oh my God, I feel absolutely stuffed, to the point where you're literally lying there on the sofa and you're in like a food coma. That's just not normal, is it? So yeah, hopefully I can start picking up a bit of an appetite soon and start getting some energy back to really send it with my training again, because I was in such a good flow state with my training. But with that being said, in regards to my training, as you know, I got 2 more hyrox races lined up towards the back end of the year, which will be Dublin in November and London in December. London XL, that is. I made a very, very interesting post on my story yesterday around always having goals lined up in the calendar, and how I truly do believe, I'm a firm believer that majority of you need goals in the calendar lined up that you are working towards. Whether that's a holiday, whether that's a wedding, whether that's a stag do, whether that is a birthday. For me personally, it has to be a definitive fitness event, whether that is a photo shoot, whether that is a hyrox, whether that's a bodybuilding show, maybe later down the line if I decide to do a half marathon or whatever it may be, right? For me, it has to be a fitness event. I tried personally dieting into a holiday this year. I tried dieting into Marbella, and something just wasn't clicking. For me, it didn't create that scarcity and urgency that made me want to put the work in. So that's why I booked in the hyrox a few weeks prior to Marbella, right? Because that really got my arse in gear. But that's the whole sort of point around it. I truly believe in order for you to work the absolute hardest you ever have, and for you to get the absolute most out of your progress and results, you need a goal lined up, a goal that is going to create that scarcity, urgency, and get you to put the fucking work in, right? I'm a firm believer in it. Now, don't get me wrong, I say majority of you because it doesn't go for everyone. I've had some guys work with me before that have come on board and said, you know what, I just want to get in unbelievable shape because I want to look and feel better. And they've actually achieved a phenomenal result. So quite clearly it doesn't go for everyone. But for majority of guys, me included, I need something in the calendar in which I'm working towards. I need that end date of knowing exactly how many weeks I have left working towards that goal and exactly when I'm going to achieve that goal by. And that's one of the main reasons as to why I loved bodybuilding, because when I booked in that bodybuilding show and I thought, fuck, I'm going to be stepping on stage in a pair of budgie smugglers, in fake tan, oiled up head to toe, in front of an audience of people, fuck, I don't want to go on that stage looking fluffy, right? I want to go on that stage looking the best in which I ever have, showcasing a physique in which I'm proud of. That made me put the work in, right? That made me grit my teeth through each and every cardio session, stick to my diet on the days in which I didn't want to do it. And don't get me wrong, of course I did it because I loved it, right? And I really did love the process and I enjoyed it and it gave me purpose and fulfillment. On the days in which you don't want to do it, having that end date in the calendar, that showcase of, right, this is what it comes down to. Everything in which I've been working for, this is what it comes down to. That's what really makes you see it through and put the work in on the days in which you don't want to do it. So point I'm making here is that when it comes to your fitness journey, whether you are looking to pack on more size, whether you are wanting to lose body fat, whatever it may be, get an end date booked in, whether that is a photo shoot, bodybuilding show, hyrox, even if it is a holiday, wedding, whatever it may be, right? Book in something that creates that urgency, creates that scarcity, and makes you want to put the work in. I did another post on Instagram the other day, which was why I love client photo shoots, and it's very much the same reason, because when I have a client that signs their name up for a photo shoot, it creates that urgency, creates that scarcity for them. It makes them put the fucking work in, and I essentially get the best out of them, because it's not so much about the photos, it's not a vanity project, it's just that end date in which creates that urgency and scarcity that makes them put the work in and get the absolute most out of them, that gets them in the best shape of their life. So get an end date in sight, book in something, and watch how much harder you work towards that goal. So anyway, just wanted to end the video on that note, just because I made the story post around it yesterday and I thought it was extremely valuable to share on here as well. But that is everything for this video. Let's hope in the next one I'm feeling a little bit more upbeat. But that is everything from me. Like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. And if you have not gone all in, then this is your sign. Take care. God bless.